What's up, guys? So today's video is obviously about why wrestlers should try BJJ after college or after their wrestling career is over. So yesterday, as you can see, you're probably wondering what this is. It's my blue belt. I just got my blue belt in BJJ after doing BJJ for about a year. I'm still absolutely horrible. And if you're a wrestler who's never done Brazilian Jui-Jitsu before, basically there's a couple belts. There's a white belt, there's a blue belt, there's a purple, brown and black belt, and then I guess there's a red belt at the very end if you're super old, and a coral belt. But the belts really don't matter, so I'm gonna throw that thing somewhere else. Guys, wrestling and BJJ are basically like cousins, and BJJ, in my opinion, is the really cool cousin that no one really talks about, and wrestling is like that one cousin that everyone knows, and everyone looks highly of, but it's kind of limited, and that might not make sense to you if you have a really good family, but it's true. Basically, BJJ is the dysfunctional family member. So why should wrestlers join BJJ after their career, regardless of if it's post-college or post-high school? Number one reason for me is it's humbling. Guys, as wrestlers, I've heard it too much. You know, we think we're the toughest dudes in the world. We think we're the baddest men or women on earth. And we think our sport is the end-all, be-all. And that it's just better than every sport. We just think we're tougher, stronger, meaner, more effective than every other martial art. And you are completely wrong. Hey, so I'm a 3-time national champion. I'm going to say this. And I believe I have the, let's say, the weight to say this. Wrestling is very great. It is not perfect. Just like jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is a great sport, a great martial art, but it is not perfect. But the combination of both is incredibly deadly and incredibly awesome. I still don't know anything, but after a year, I've already seen how the mix of both makes me a lot more effective than people who have been training the same amount of time as me in either one. Basically, in like a self-defense situation, I feel that I could probably choke about any wrestler and defend myself pretty well against most jiu-jitsu people, and definitely anyone off the streets who's never had training. Jiu-jitsu, if you learn it properly, is a very good defense for wrestling. You know, guillotines, leg locks, back takes, chokes, things that you don't learn in wrestling, jiu-jitsu does provide. I feel like jiu-jitsu fills the hole that wrestling basically provides us as far as, you know, mixed martial arts or combat sports and fighting in general. So yeah, it's a great transition after college too. So lots of the time we go through college, we finish, and maybe we're waiting for a college job, or we even have a college coaching job, but we want something to do on the side besides like lifting weight, and we still want to get after it, but obviously we can't compete in college anymore. We can coach, but we can't compete. So doing BJJ is a great supplement for your post-collegiate competitive opportunities, while also having like a full-time job or doing something, because you can just be a hobbyist and train, you know, 2 or 3 times a week while having your full-time job, and still do jiu-jitsu. With wrestling, you can't do that post-collegiate. If you are gonna compete in wrestling post-collegiate, you need to be incredibly good, probably a Division I wrestler. If you're not a Division I wrestler, you can still compete post-collegiate. You're going to have to basically be a 24-hour wrestler, and you can't really have a life outside of that besides like doing camps, private seminars, stuff like that. Whereas jiu-jitsu provides you the opportunity to go compete with other hobbyists, you know, people who do jiu-jitsu maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and still allows you to have a full-time job. And unlike wrestling, there are way more opportunities to do jiu-jitsu, as there's way more gyms for adults. Whereas with wrestling, it's incredibly hard to find. Unless you're one of the top guys, it's incredibly hard to find just a gym you can go pay for and go to, because RTCs usually search for high-level athletes, and they're pretty peculiar about the guys who come and train at their gym. So I think jiu-jitsu offers that opportunity. You know, honestly, that's it. I think jiu-jitsu is a really great opportunity for wrestlers. I feel like more wrestlers should open up and try it, because I feel like it provides a lot of value. On the other hand, I think the same thing goes with jiu-jitsu. I think people who do jiu-jitsu for a really long time tend to lack in their wrestling, and I feel like it'd be really awesome if they just focused a little bit more on the wrestling, not just the takedowns, but even the top bottom positions, the scrambling positions, because just from my experience, there's so many positions in wrestling that translate to jiu-jitsu, whether that's takedowns or scrambles, that make you a better jiu-jitsu player. Other than that, guys, that's it. College wrestlers try jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu players try wrestling. It's a great combination. I mean, it is the best. See you guys later.